Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy HD MMA back at it again with another video. Today, I am here with my reaction and breakdown to UFC 324, Gaethje versus Pimblett. And hey, here's another one for y'all, man. Another stellar performance by me with the picks. I went 8-3 on picks overall for the entire card, which is pretty fucking good if I do say so myself. Pretty good performances. Performance compared to some of the other events I've predicted, and especially the last event of last year, that Manel Kopp and a Royval card. I don't think I did so well on that one. But hey, I'm starting off the year with the fucking bang. Starting off the year hitting the ground running with this one. And yeah, this was a pretty good card overall, if I'm not gonna lie. A lot of finishes on this card, a lot of exciting fights, a lot of like buzzer beater, fucking last second finishes on this card, especially to start off with. And a very entertaining, very great fucking scrap for that main event to end the card off with. So yeah, I'm going to be going through the entire card, giving my breakdown and reaction to each fight on the card, starting with the first fight on the prelims, starting with Ty Miller defeating Adam Fugit by a round 1 TKO in the last second of the round. It was a pretty fun fight to start off with. Ty Miller started off with good hands, started popping the jab, landing the 1-2, and it was really when Ty Miller started landing that right hand, that straight right hand down the pipe on Fugit, is just when he had this fight in the bag. He just could not miss with that straight 2 down the pipe on Fugit. He was hitting Fugit with it damn near every time he threw it, and he was also switching it up with like a right hook, hitting him with that like left hook, right hook combo, on top of hitting him with that 1-2. And he was just stinging Fugit the whole time with it. Fugit did not really know how to defend it properly or really move out of the way of it or mitigate the boxing of Ty Miller. He had some success with like some body kicks, throwing some like rear body kicks on Ty Miller here and there. But yeah, it was just, the whole fight was Ty Miller just piecing up Fugit with the hands, with the straight right. I think he tried to, Ty Miller tried to land some elbows on Fugit, while Fugit tried to clinch up with Miller. Yeah, it was just Fugit just beaming him with that right hand across. I think at one point in the fight, Fugit landed a spinning elbow while Ty Miller was going for his own elbow that stumbled back Ty Miller and even cut him. But it didn't really change the course of the fight that much. It was really just a little moment for Fugit, but towards the end of the round, it was Ty Miller just piecing up Fugit. Then he I think in a minute left in the round, he dropped Fugit with the right hand. Dropped Fugit with him, followed it to the ground. Threw some ground and pound. Fugit recovered. Backed Fugit up to the cage, threw another combo and clipped him with another right hook that dropped Fugit again. Fugit got back up, and Ty Miller was just teeing off on him while Fugit was against the cage, and then the ref just called it off, stepped in at 1 second left in the round. So it was a pretty good performance for Ty Miller. Just exactly what I said he would do: piece him up with the hands, piece him up with the boxing. Hurt Fugit hurt Fugit and stop him. I said round 2 TKO for Ty Miller. Just squeaked me out with that, but it was still a good performance overall. And Fugit is just he's just okay. He's just not really UFC level at the moment of his career. He's like, I think he's 37 as well, old. Not really, doesn't really have any like standout points in this game. at all. He's just okay, and just, Ty Miller just took advantage that Fugit. He had better boxing than Fugit, and yeah, he just put it to work and just pieced Fugit up for a late round one stoppage. So good win for Ty Miller. Still undefeated. He looks pretty good at 170. He has good boxing. I want to see I think Ty Miller versus Islam Dulatov would be pretty good, since they both beat Adam Fugit in their debut. I think a fight between them two guys who are young with good boxing. I think Islam Dulatov has a bit more one-shot power in the hands, whereas not Fugit, fucking Ty Miller has more volume and it's more technical with his boxing. I don't think he has much power as Dulatov, but I think he's more technical and he throws more than Dulatov. So yeah, I think that's a good fight to make, and that made me 1-0 on the card for picks. Moving on, we had fucking Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman. I went with Josh Hokett in this one, and I said around 1 KO. I thought Hokett were going to be too fast for Denzel Freeman, too fast for him, put on too much of a pace, put on too much pressure, and eventually hit Freeman with a combo that would put him out. And the fight did go somewhat like that. It started off with Hokett crazy on the pressure. He ran across the octagon throwing a combo, eventually shot for a takedown after he threw that combo. He went for a double leg, switched to a single leg. He went to a single leg, then switched to a double leg, took Freeman off the cage and put him down. He was on top of Freeman. Freeman had the butterfly guard on Hokett. Freeman just wasn't really doing that much. You could see in the fucking strike numbers, he landed 0 strikes on Hokett, which is fucking crazy. That's insane that he went a whole this fight went the whole fucking round and Denzel didn't land 1 strike on Hokett, that's absolutely insane now that I think about it. I was watching the fight with if y'all saw my fight companion, I was watching the fight and I was so surprised that the fucking the strike numbers, when they pull up that little stat, the strike numbers that Freeman didn't land anything, I was fucking shocked. Usually those numbers are fucking capping, but it really was true. I thought they were fucking lying in the booth and they was just fucking seeing what they wanted to see, but Freeman really did not land a single strike on Hokett. But yeah. So back to the fight. They were on the ground. They stayed there for a while. Freeman gave up his back, rolled to his back, started to turtle. He started to fucking Anthony Smith max on Hokett. Hokett was just throwing ground and pound. He was trying to get hooks in and trying to get like a hook in on Freeman's legs. Freeman just kept like trying to stand up instead of like trying to collect the guard and try to build his base. He was just trying to kind of like stand up with Hokett on his back while Hokett's trying to get like a hook in to get more control. Yeah, and then they separated. Hokett was just keeping back on the pace, throwing more combos, more just pressuring Hokett pressuring Freeman backwards. Freeman was just trying to just back up and sort of just stop the pressure of Hokett by just backing up and sort of trying to regain his composure. Hokett, I remember Hokett threw like a right uppercut or a right hook that rocked Freeman while Freeman was moving backwards, that stunned him. Then Freeman he just bent over backwards, to be honest. He just bent over backwards, covering himself up. He just eventually fell to his knees. Then Hokett just went back to his back, trying to just ground and pound him. At one point, he hit Hokett he hit Freeman with the fucking with the Izzy the Izzy Paulo Costa. He hit him with the fucking the I don't know if he humped him, but he did smack Freeman's ass when when Hogan was on his back. Hogan smacked Freeman on the ass like a few times while he was trying to ground and pound Freeman. Pause on all of that. That is insane. That is an insane sentence. But yeah, he just Hogan, man, he was just super dominant. Just did not let his foot off the pedal, kept on the gas the whole time, and yeah, it was just fucking completely one-sided performance from Josh Hogan. Then he cut a fucking not after the fight. I'm fucking getting ahead of myself. Eventually, just Hogan just ended up fucking Shamil Gaziev maxing and just was too tired to continue. I remember he just backed up into the fence while Hogan was pressuring him forward. Hogan threw up a middle finger at him, and then just Freeman just sat down. He just squatted down, and just the ref just called it off for Denzel Freeman. He quit to fucking he just quit to exhaustion on Josh Hogan. So yeah, it was a super one-sided performance from Hogan. That was probably the most one-sided performance I've ever seen go for like a full round. Just no offense from Freeman whatsoever. No capacity to fight back and fight position in this fight. And yeah, it was a great performance from Josh Hogan. Then he cut an insane promo in this post-fight interview. He said all this. He's the bee's knees with the plums drums and the fucking and he whatever the fuck he said. What else he said? But he saying some crazy one-liners, rhyming his ass off. The bee's knees, the big cheese, the fucking the whatever the fuck. And then he called out Waldo Cortez Acosta. He called him a deadbeat dad with 9 kids, and he said he absolutely sucked on some Chael son and shit. Yeah, it was crazy. I like Hogan, man. He's a great personality. I think he's gonna be a star at heavyweight. He's definitely next up for sure. He's just way too fast for these guys. He's a lot super light for the division, but he just seems way too fast and has way too frantic of a pace for these guys to keep up with him. Yeah, I think he gives a lot of guys, especially I think now in the top 15, I think he gives a lot of guys a lot of problems with just his speed and his pace and his pressure alone. I think that gives a lot of guys at heavyweight, especially at the upper end of the division, I think that gives a lot of guys a lot of problems. So yeah, great performance from Josh Hogan, and yeah, that made me 2-0 on the card. And I don't think he's not getting that Waldo Cortez Acosta fight. All right, moving on, we got Alex Perez defeating Charles Johnson in the first round by TKO. Yeah, this was a super surprising performance it was kind of like a y'all must have forgot performance from Alex Perez. You look at Alex Perez's resume on like Tapology and shit. You see this guy like who's fought like name after name. He's got Pantoja and fucking Figueiredo and fucking another guy I'm forgetting, but he's got names on his resume. You know, Tyra. He's got all these guys on his resume, and he has good wins. He was a legit. He is reminding guys that he is especially with this performance, that he was like a legit title contender at one point. And he really showed that in this fight, dispatching Charles Johnson with ease. In this fight, not really much to say about this fight at all. He just came at Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson, I said this in my predictions video, he does need to sort of build into a fight and build his offense in the fight to really get success. And Alex Perez just did not let him build whatsoever. Just came at Charles Johnson sort of like just a mini Josh Hokett. Uh, a lot like I would say a lot similar to the previous fight, that Josh Hogan and Denzel Freeman fight. Just came at him immediately with an insane amount of pressure and pace, and just was putting it on Charles Johnson, blitzing in with big combos. Not Johnson just not sort of like capitalizing on the sort of blitzes of Alex Perez. Like he sort of needs to build up to do. He threw some strikes back at Perez while Perez was trying to blitz at him and move forward with combinations, but Perez was just too fast for him, too heavy on the pressure for him. Ended up coming in with a combination and clipping Johnson at the end of it with the left hand that rocked Johnson bad and dropped him. Johnson tried to recover, regain composure, just scop around the cage, try and move around and recover. He ended up doing that, and then Perez came in with another combination of the left hand that hurt Johnson and dropped him again. And then another combination that dropped Johnson again and ended the fight. So pretty dominant performance for Alex Perez. He did miss weight, so hold that against him as you will. But as of the performance, it was pretty good, and it was he hit us with the y'all must forgot. He checked the mythical fighter of not the mythical fighter, underdog Charles Johnson. That's a mythical fighter. I think in this fight, Johnson was a favorite, and yeah, I think Johnson needs to be an underdog. He needs to be at a deficit in order to be at his best. And I think this fight really showed that. But that again, he was like rocking Charles Johnson, who in the UFC has really like rocked and stumbled and had Johnson like scarpering up against the cage like that. Perez is he's pretty dangerous. He's pretty dangerous. And that kind of goes to how much talent does flyweight have, to where Asuel Mabayev kind of like made this guy ended up pulling up a late like finish comeback victory on this guy. And then he goes up against Charles Johnson, who is super dangerous at this weight class, has great names on his resume as well, and then it ends up fucking dispatches him and makes him look like he doesn't belong in there. Doesn't even belong in the top 15 at flyweight. Insane stuff. And yeah, that made me 2-1 on picks. So great, very surprising performance. Great underdog comeback, underdog win, not comeback win, underdog win for Alex Perez. Moving on, we got Nikita Krylov defeating Modestas Bukauskas in the third round by TKO. Another crazy underdog performance from Nikita Krylov. Nikita Krylov, who I personally had counted out. He was like this sort of dark horse in the division. I remember at one point he had good fights against, Ankalaev and I think like Paul Craig, another one. Dominic Reyes. Yeah, he did get fucking chinned by Dominic Reyes. He had some other like good names on his resume back in the day. And was kind of showing that in his more recent fights that he was like sort of a shell of his former self, getting chinned brutally by Reyes and Guskov. With especially that Reyes win aging like worse and worse for him as the day or the Reyes loss. I'm sorry, the Reyes loss for him sort of aging worse and worse as time went on. And I had counted him out, and he showed me that he is not one to be counted out. Very good performance from him. He was sort of piecing up Bukauskas just throughout the fight. Just sort of coming in with his combos, blitzing in, and exiting out, not letting Bukowskis like counter him or staying in the pocket for too long. Just kind of sort of going in and out and landing his shots without letting Bukowskis land back on him. Usually he sort of blitzes for too long, and his openings are very risky. He's very open. He's very open when he comes in, especially into punching range. But he just Bukowskis just couldn't land that big shot to really like hurt Krylov or make him fear coming into punching range with him. And that was pretty much the whole fight. I remember Krylov was tying up Bukowskis in the clinch, trying to take him out. He was trying to land trips on or get trips off on Bukowskis. He ended up getting one. It didn't really do anything with it. Bukowskis immediately got back up to his feet after it. But yeah, it was just Krylov just being faster and being sharper in the striking and being more mindful of his like position in range and having a better understanding of range itself. And that was the story for the whole fight. In the third round, he ended up clipping Bukowskis with an overhand that dropped Bukowskis and then finished him up with ground and pound that put Bukowskis out for a moment at the end of the third round. So yeah, another crazy, like, y'all must have forgot kind of performance for this card. Yeah, I counted out Krylov, thought his chin was cooked, and yeah, apparently I think it was more of Bukowskis not being able to land his shots cleanly. And also Bukowskis was doing like sort of the same thing Krylov was, that Krylov got KO'd for, was leaving his chin up in the air, exchanging in the pocket for way too long. That was the stuff that was getting Krylov fucking smoked out cold and ended up being the downfall of Bukowskis in this fight. So yeah, good win for Krylov. I don't think maybe you give him like Alonzo Menifield or something like that. Give that to Krylov. Maybe you give Reyes is fighting Walker. Maybe you give like, I don't know, Bukowskis Abdul Rakhmonekyaev, something like that. Yeah, good win for fucking Nikita Krylov. Moving on, we got Atiba Gauthier defeating Andre Pulyaev by unanimous decision. Yeah, it was not that good of a performance for I'm not gonna say it wasn't. Hold on, let me fucking collect myself. Just because fucking Gauthier didn't KO Pulayev stiff in the first round, I don't think that it's gonna hurt his stock that much realistically. I think a lot of people are gonna say that this was like kind of a soft fraud check for Gauthier, that he didn't nuke this guy out cold in the first round, which is a bit unfair to say. I think as Gauthier like sort of goes further in his career, people are gonna like sort of point to this fight as like a sort of like a semi like blueprint to give him problems in sort of a beat him as he gets on later in this career, which could be the case. We don't know that for sure yet, but it was still a pretty like good performance. It was a decent performance for Gauthier. I got all this shit on my fucking monitor. This thing is so fucking dirty. I gotta clean it. But yeah, it was a pretty decent performance overall from Gauthier. I think the commentary was was a big part. I did listen to the commentary as this fight was going on, and you got fucking, Joe Rogan. Oh, look at Polayev. He's landing some kicks. He's starting to, and Gauthier, he's looking tired. All that muscle, all that muscle, and he does cut weight. He's like well over, he's well over 200 pounds, outside of fight camp, and like, you got Joe Rogan trying to like spin narratives and trying to like make Polayev seem like he's doing a lot more and he's doing a lot better than he really is compared to Gautier's other opponents, which is just normal Joe Rogan shit. But yeah, I think it was still a pretty decent performance overall. Round one started off, Gauthier was immediately like pressuring Polayev backwards, trying to look for that big right hand, look for that power shot. He ended up dropping Polayev with a big right hand, big straight right hand that dropped Polayev at the start of round one. Just Polayev was just circling to the left the entire fight on Gauthier. Gauthier not really like capitalizing on that sort of predictable circular movement of Polayev, not trying to cut him off, not trying to cut the cage off, throwing very little like lead side attacks. I think some more lead side, like more adept lead side tool bag would have really helped Gauthier in this fight to stop the circling of Polayev and to make him more of a stationary target. Some lead leg kicks, some left hooks, even some like spinning attacks, some lead high kicks, lead body kicks from Gauthier could have helped Polayev be more stationary and sort of helped Gauthier line up that right hand better. But yeah, it was Polayev circling, just staying defensive, staying on the back foot, circling the entire fight. Polayev was landing some good left hands, some left overhands on Gauthier. Gauthier, he was taking all of Polayev's shots. He was taking high kicks off Polayev, taking the right hands, taking them extremely well, not really getting all that flustered from the striking of Polayev, while he was pressuring, moving forward, trying to line up that big right hand on Polayev. Round two, it was more of the same stuff. Polayev circling out, landing high kicks. Gauthier took some flushed left high kicks. Not flush. He had it was like semi blocked. It would like land to the fingertips area while Gauthier was trying to block them. But yeah, he was taking some big shots off Polayev. And I think he ended up hurting Polayev again in the second round. Polayev showed up and Gauthier just started unloading on him with a flurry, like right hand, left hand, right hand. Ended off with a high kick. Polayev recovered, and then in the third round it was more of the same, sort of more of the same. Polayev circling out, staying extremely defensive, landing kicks at range, and yeah. I think it was a pretty good, it was just more like Gauthier having the big moments. He had the knockdowns in the first and the second round, and also the third round. I think it was a lot of slipping from Polayev. There was a lot of times where Gauthier would land sort of land on the head of Polayev, and Polayev would either fall off balance because he's just moving backwards and circling, and a lot of oh, it was a clean shot and he dropped Polayev. It was kind of hard to tell whether Polayev would fall because he slipped and he's off balance, or he was actually hurt from a shot that Gauthier landed. But yeah, a decent performance from Gauthier. I think and Polayev, he took fucking that's what I wanted to say. He took Christian Leroy Duncan to a decision as well, who was much more of I would say a much more technical, sort of more accurate striker than Gautier. Christian Leroy Duncan, I would say he picks shots way better and is way more sort of like intelligent with his pressure. He's still like big for the division and has a pretty long reach, but he has I would say he's more intelligent and more technical in the strike, and he has like a deeper tool bag, I would say, in the striking than a guy like Gautier, and Pelaev took him to a decision as well. So I don't think and I would say Christian Leroy Duncan is also more proven at this point in the UFC. He's fought way more dangerous opponents than Gautier. So, and Pelaev took him to a decision as well. So yeah, I don't think this hurts Gautier's stock that much. A guy like Pelaev, who has shown to be elusive and sort of dangerous and very hard to finish and land clean on. And yeah, I think it's a decent performance from Gautier. And that made me 3-2 on the card. Moving on, we got the headliner of the prelims. This is a very short card. I know there's 3 fights that got removed off this card, and this card does have a very like sort of limited number of fights compared to the usual. Like 3 fights got canceled on this card, and I'm already I'm 30 minutes into the video, and I'm already like sort of finishing up the prelims, which is usually not the case. Moving on, we got Umar Nurmagomedov defeating Davison Figueiredo by unanimous decision 30-27. Pretty clear win for Umar, and he did exactly what I thought he would do. Just kicks on the outside while Figgy's just standing there. Kicks on the outside, keeping busy, not letting Figgy sort of get off his power punches, not really Figgy get mount any offense or really get going in the fight. Took Figgy down all three rounds. Was just laying on top of Figgy, passing to side control, getting to half guard. That's something that these like Dagestani guys really do well, is they use half guard to their fullest, to the fullest extent. They use half guard as like a control position in MMA instead of like the other guy like sort of getting back to guard. They really use it to like pin people and really not let people like get any sort of like offense or get any sort of be like swept from half guard or anything like that. That's something these guys are really really good at, and he did that in this fight. Sort of like pin Figgy in half guard. Moved to side control, kept busy with little shots off from the top position. Just kept busy. More just kicks and stuff. Just really sort of like muting the offense of Figueiredo. I think one point in the second round, at the end of the second round, Figgy was starting to like back up Umar and was starting to like get going a bit and starting to let his hands go, but it wasn't really enough, and it was at the end of the second round, which didn't really sort of mean anything, because by the time he sort of got going, the round was over. And then they reset back into the third round. It was more just more kicks, takedowns from Umar. Yeah, it was just a very like shutout performance from Umar. I'm okay with him not getting a title shot after this. I know that might piss some people off, but especially since Sean O'Malley won, I feel like we keep Umar on ice. And also since it's about to be Ramadan, I think. I don't know how long that's gonna last. I don't know when the time, like the fucking how long Ramadan is for, or when it ends. I'd say we keep Umar on ice. Maybe give him one more. Give Umar one more. Make him fight Ayman Zahabi or something like that. Well, Sean O'Malley gets a title shot against Piotr Jan. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I really do. Yeah, good, decent performance from Umar. Moving on, we got, this fight was sick. This fight was so sick. We got Gene Silva defeating Arnold Allen by unanimous decision. Yeah, this was really just Gene Silva having the physicality advantage over Arnold Allen. Started off, Gene Silva was taking it slow, throwing feints out here, trying to like draw Arnold Allen into the theatrics of the style, like trying to, of his style. Excuse me, trying to like, touch gloves with him, smile with him, do all that. Arnold Allen wasn't having it for the most part. He was aware of the mind games of Gene Silva and the copes. Arnold Allen was piecing up Gene Silva with the jab in the first round a lot. He was landing the jab. He was landing the left hand. Allen was on Silva. Silva was taking it well. He would like take the two of Allen, start to like throw a hook to the body, a lead hook to the body, while Allen was after Allen was finished throwing the two, trying to spin as well as Allen was like throwing the two, tying up Allen in the clinch as well. He was Gene Silva was. I remember he tried to take Allen down also at the end of the second round. At the end of the first round, Gene Silva, he landed a big flurry. I think it started from a right hand Silva landed, and then he backed Allen up with it and started landing a flurry, throwing hooks, threw a flying knee at Allen, backed Allen all the way up to the cage. At the end of the first round, tried to stare Allen down, try to mean mug his ass. Allen pushed him off at the end of the first round. At the start of the second, it was more of Gene Silva was starting to build back into the fight. He was starting to land cleaner on Allen, land more on Allen. He was like ripping that lead hook to the body on Allen, landing the two. He started spinning more and more. Started tying up Allen with the body lock, dragging Allen down to the ground with it. Landing ground and pound on Allen as well. Starting to clip farm a bit with the hand touches and the glove touches and all that. Allen really wasn't really having it. Also, Allen was like landing the jab in the two. That was really what was working for Allen. Landing that 1-2 combo on Silva. Also landing the those body kicks on Silva. Really was working for Allen. Every time Allen went up high with a head kick, Silva would just lean back out of the way of it and start to like smile and shit at him. At the fucking start of the third round, Silva was tying up with Allen in the clinch, getting the body lock. He tried to hold, had a 2-on-1 grip on Allen, and he used it to. He was like loading up a spin, and he used it to spin, trapping that the left hand of Allen, and used it to spin over the top with an elbow. I don't think that did as much as Gene wanted it to, but it was a clever tactic nonetheless. Yeah, I remember at one point Allen, he got Allen down with I think he hurt Allen, and then Allen dropped to his knees, and fucking Gene Silva stood on the back of Allen at the end of the third round, stood on Allen's back, and jumped off of him at the end of the third round. And he also tried to like point at the ground on Allen, tried to do some Max Holloway shit, point at the ground and bang it out. Allen wasn't really having that. And yeah, it was overall it was Gene Silva just landing with more consequence on Allen. He was, whenever Gene Silva landed on Allen, it made more impact. It mattered more than what Allen was landing on Silva. And that was pretty much the whole story of the fight. So yeah, good performance for Gene Silva. I would say we give him fucking who's up at featherweight right now. I would say maybe a Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez versus Gene Silva. Fucking maybe a Aljo. I don't know. I would have to look at the rankings at featherweight in order to give Silva a good next matchup. But yeah, it was a good win for him nonetheless. Back in the win column for Gene Silva. Yeah, moving on. We got Natalia Silva defeating Rose Namajunas by unanimous decision 29-28. Personally, when I watched the fight, I had Natalia Silva winning rounds 1 and 3. I thought the commentators were glazing Rose a bit too much in the first round, trying to like make her seem like she was landing more than she was. I think a lot of Rose's punches were landing on like the chest of Silva in the first round. I know Rose was throwing some more like she was throwing more like leg kicks than Silva in the first round. Like a lot of like leg kicks. She would like, I think Rose would like land like a hook to the chest, or maybe she would land like a 2 that barely skimmed the chin of Silva, and the commentators were like sort of like glazed that like it would land like flush in the first round. I think Silva was slightly landed more in the first round. The second round, it was all Rose pretty much. She got the takedown on Silva, got her with the trip, was on top of her for the majority of the second round, was landing ground and pound on Silva. In the second round, just controlling her. Silva like accepting the position in the second round, just collecting guard, accepting bottom position on Rose Namajunas in the second round, which is never a good sign in MMA these days. People are very aware to guard attacks like nowadays in MMA. Like just collecting your guard and accepting position and trying to like throw up subs is not that good of a strategy on in MMA these days. But yeah. So I had it when I was watching the fight. I had it first round to Silva, second round to Rose, and then in the third round it was pretty much all Natalia Silva landing the cleaner shots, landing more shots than Rose. Also getting the takedown on Rose, getting Rose down with that trip, landing some ground and pound on Rose as well while they were on the ground. And yeah, to be honest, even if it was a robbery in a Rose won rounds 1 and 2, I don't really fucking care. Spit all over my mic. I don't really care. And I'd rather see Natalia Silva win. I want new faces at flyweight. I don't want to see like the same fucking girls just recycled at the top. I want to see a new challenge for Shevchenko, at least. I think Shevchenko, if Silva and Shevchenko fought, I think Shevchenko's gonna win. But at least I want to see someone new. At least I just don't want to see the same fucking faces at the top of the division. Moving on, we got, and I also had I had Silva to win this fight as well by unanimous decision, and I also had Gene Silva to win this his fight with Allen. So that made me fucking. Oh, I also had Umar and Gautier. That made me fucking. 4, 5, 7. Yeah. No, 6. I was 6-2 after this. So yeah, 6-2 going into the feature fight. Now, the featured fight of the night, we had Waldo Cortez Acosta defeating Derek Lewis by round 2 TKO. This was just Waldo Cortez Acosta using that jab and using his movement. Really all Derek Lewis has is his hands, and Waldo Cortez Acosta is really good at throwing hands with these guys at heavyweight. And yeah, that's what he did. He was popping the jab on Lewis, sort of getting away and moving out of the way of Lewis's right hand. A lot of the times, I think Lewis hit him with one, hit Acosta with one right hand at the I think in the second round. Then like Acosta, he like pointed up to the he put one finger up to the sky and sort of like backed away from Lewis. But apart from that, it was really just Waldo Cortez Acosta being too fast for Derek Lewis, moving way too much and just being too elusive and sticking and moving with that jab on Lewis. He also Waldo, I think he also hit him with like a couple right hands that hurt Lewis. I think in the second round, he hurt Lewis with one right hand while Lewis was coming in. And yeah, it was just Waldo was just too fast for him to was sticking the jab way too much for Lewis. And then Lewis just in the second round, Lewis just sat down and quit after Waldo hit him with like a right hand on the back foot. He like skimmed the chin of Lewis, and Lewis just sat down and just quit and just accepted Waldo just beating him up on the ground. And yeah, not much to say about this fight. Just Lewis just ended up quitting in the second round. I want to see Waldo fight Volkov next. I think I want to see Waldo fight Volkov before Aspinall and Gane. Before they fight, before Aspinall Gane too, I would want to see Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Alexander Volkov for like sort of a number one contendership spot. Yeah. And I also had Waldo in this fight to win by did I say round 2 TKO? No, I said round 1. But he got it done either way. Moving on, we got Shauna O'Malley defeating Song Yadong by unanimous decision. This went mostly like how I said it would. I think Song Yadong had a bit more success in the grappling than I thought, but either way, this was Shauna O'Malley being way too slick for Yadong, being way too elusive, way too fast for Yadong to sort of really amount any offense. Yadong, he couldn't really find that like big right hand, that big power shot on O'Malley. O'Malley was moving super well, sticking and moving really well. He would come with the 2 on Song Yadong. Song Yadong would try to counter back with a right hand. O'Malley would move out of the way of it, then hit him with another like jab or whatever. O'Malley, he was switching stances well out of in this fight, fighting well out of both stances, southpaw and orthodox. Um, I think Song Yadong, he shot a takedown at the end of the first round. Got O'Malley down. O'Malley just kind of went to his guard and sort of let Yadong sort of beat up on him in the at the end of the first. Which if you were, I don't want to say, hold on, let me fucking collect myself. I don't really think that mattered that much that Song Yadong got a takedown at the end of the first and landed some ground and pound. I think overall in the first round, O'Malley landed more. And he landed the cleaner shots on Yadong. In round two, I think it was pretty clear that Song Yadong, he sort of got the takedowns. He got on top with it. Pause. He got he was had top position on O'Malley. He got top position, was landing ground and pound, controlling O'Malley in the second round. O'Malley was trying to, throw up some subs here and there. He tempted to throw up a triangle and stuff like that. But he wasn't really trying to scramble or sort of not scrambling, create space and sort of try to get off the ground with Yadong on top of him. So it was pretty clear, a pretty clear second round for Song Yadong. And in the third round, O'Malley was just piecing up Song Yadong, moving out of the way of him, hitting him with good twos from southpaw and orthodox, hitting him with that jab from orthodox, piecing up Song Yadong with the hands and in the feet or on the feet. He ended up damaging Song Yadong, busting up Song Yadong's nose, hit him with a knee while Song Yadong was stepping in. That shook up Song Yadong. It didn't really hurt him, but it did kind of shake him up, and sort of got his eyes blinking, got him a little bit starry eyed. And the third round was pretty much all Sean O'Malley just piecing him up and looking really slick on the feet. And I'd say give him Petr Yan next. Give O'Malley Petr Yan next. He won this fight pretty clear. I think Yan O'Malley 2 at the White House is the move to make. That's the match to make going forward. So pretty good performance for O'Malley. Was a little bit shaky in the first round and in the second round, but pulled it off in the third. I did pick O'Malley to win this fight, so that made me 8-2 with the Waldo Cortez Coast pick as well. And moving on, we got the current fight of the year. In the first card of the year, we got the fight of the year. We got Justin Gaethje defeating Paddy Pimblett by unanimous decision. I thought Gaethje had won rounds 1, 2, and 4 on Paddy. I think that's what most people thought. This was a very I don't want to say surprising, but it was a sort of Paddy not really showing up like I thought he would. I thought Paddy would sort of mix in the wrestling and striking together more in this fight, but really he just stood with Gaethje. He was just trying to stand with Gaethje and sort of out brawl him and outpower him and trying to hurt Gaethje, which is very fucking hard to do. even if you're a not a world class striker, like even if you're a very good striker like you're a Fiziev, that's still extremely hard to do, to try and stand with Gaethje and like out technique and like out toughness him on the feet. Um, I don't know what the game plan from Patty was trying to do that with Gaethje. I think he said in the post fight in his post fight speech, he like Gaethje hit him with like a body shot in round one, and that sort of drained and zapped his cardio. But even in like it's just tough. It's just really tough for Patty. But good performance from Gaethje. It's crazy how Gaethje has like these performances where he was just like randomly like lock in, where he'll get starched out cold and outclassed by Holloway, but he'll come back in against Patty and he'll just like lock in and sort of like fucking just be like too technical and to have all this power all of a sudden and kind of like just like outclass certain guys. He'll like get fucked up by certain guys, but he'll outclass another like set of guys, which is like very insane to think about. But yeah, first round, Gaethje was on the pressure. He ended up dropping Patty in the first round with a right hand and then an uppercut. I said in my predictions, Gaethje has a nasty uppercut with as well as his like left hook. As well as his left hook, Gaethje has like a nasty rear uppercut that he lands on guys, and he drops guys with. And he dropped Pimblett with that in the first round. Pimblett ended up recovering, was also landing his own like rear uppercut on Gaethje as Gaethje was ducking off to the side. Pimblett was landing that rear bolo uppercut on Gaethje, but it just wasn't really stinging Gaethje like how Gaethje was stinging Patty with his uppercuts and his strikes. So yeah, it was a clear first round for Gaethje. Second round was also clear for Gaethje. He ended up dropping Patty with an eye poke. He ended up poking Patty with his poking Patty's left thumb with as Gaethje was throwing the jab. He ended up jousting Patty in the eye with his thumb. That sent Patty down to the ground, and that I think that also counted as a knockdown for Gaethje. I'm not really sure about that, but I caught that after the second round. Gaethje like really badly eye poked him, and I think that really like sort of set the tone for the rest of the fight. In the third round, I think also fucking Gaethje hit Patty with like a nut shot, or I think Gaethje hit Patty with a nut shot while they were tying up in the third round while Gaethje was trying to throw a knee to the body. He hit Patty with a nut shot as well that the ref didn't call, but yeah, whatever. And also I think Gaethje also eye poked Patty in the first round as well, that the ref called that immediately, but he didn't call the other two fouls from Gaethje. In the third round also, Patty was starting to like build back up into the fight. He was starting to land more on Gaethje. He was not getting backed up as much to the fence as Gaethje was doing him like in the previous rounds. He was starting to land a bit more offense, but it wasn't really hurting Gaethje at all. Gaethje had more power than Pimblett and was hurting Pimblett way more than Pimblett was hurting Gaethje. I think he did win the third round. In the fourth round, it was just all Gaethje. Gaethje hurt him again with another combo, which is backing Patty up, hitting him with right overhands. Patty was just getting cut up as well. He was cut up and bruised up in the fourth round as well. that didn't look good at the judges in the judges' eyes. On top of Gaethje beating him up and stumbling him all across the cage. It was just Paddy was just not really moving forward, not moving his head as well. Paddy was just keeping his head way up, keeping his chin way up like he always does, and just not moving his head. So he was just like a big target for Gaethje to just come over the top with his right hand, with his left hooks, with his uppercuts, stumbling, just fucking catching all that shit to the chin. And yeah, in the 5th round as well. I think Pimblett was starting to get back into the fight in the 5th round, but it was not enough. It just wasn't enough. Pimblett couldn't get the momentum back in the 5th round or even the 3rd round, and just Gaethje just won off the damage, won off the drops, won off the just landing with more consequence and landing with more power on Paddy. And also he had Paddy in these like front headlock positions, and that's the thing about Gaethje. His striking is good, but his jiu-jitsu is just not UFC level at all. He's just, as soon as he gets Paddy in these front headlock positions, he's just like throwing these like punches. He's not trying to like latch up a Doris or Anaconda or even a guillotine or something like that, or even a ninja choke. He's just punching Paddy up. He's not trying to like spin around to the back at all, which is like, it's so weird to see from a guy who was at the top of the division in one of the most like talent stacked divisions in the UFC, or the most talent stacked division in the UFC. Not seeing like such beginner level jiu-jitsu skills in a guy. It's so weird to see. But yeah, and Paddy wasn't engaging in the grappling at all. As soon as Gaethje had like these like clinch positions on Paddy and these front headlock positions on Paddy would just literally stay there, grab like a hand. That's like the most Paddy would do. He would like try and grab the hand of Gaethje, grab like the punching hand of Gaethje, and sort of just like stay there and like catch a breather. He would like move towards Gaethje occasionally, but he wouldn't try to like roll and like try and create a scramble or do anything like that. He was just content on just standing there in front of Gaethje and throwing, which is so like, it's so weird to see. But yeah, it was a extremely good fight of the year, definitely for now. Yeah, it was a very, very good fight to watch. And Gaethje is the interim UFC champion, interim lightweight champion. Going to fight Ilya next, probably at the White House. I think Ilya smokes Gaethje out cold. It's crazy, like all of this to get smoked by fucking Ilya. It's insane. I think Ilya would have beat Paddy as well, but at least it would have been like some bad blood, and it would have been a storyline. It would have been someone new at the top of the division. But yeah, we get to see Gaethje again being a 2-time interim champion at lightweight, which is a like very like interesting stat to get to hold, and also like probably getting smoked in both title fights that he was in. But yeah, it's so crazy. He also had like a similar performance in this Ferguson fight. Like he goes off in these interim title fights, but in the actual title fight, he's gonna get fucking smoked. He got smoked by Khabib, and he's probably gonna get smoked by Ilya as well. But yeah, overall it was a pretty fucking good card. A lot of exciting finishes, a lot of exciting moments, some weird moments as well. A couple like decisions you could say are weird, but yeah, overall I think it's a pretty good card. I would give this card a solid 8 out of 10. I think the main event really elevated this card to a good in a good sense. But yeah. I will be posting my I will be getting started to like work on my predictions for UFC 325. That's happening a week from now, which is also insane that we get two numbered events a week apart from each other. So yeah, I'll be working on that for you guys. And yeah, I'll see if I can post a fight companion or stream a fight companion in my reactions after that card's done. I don't know if I'm going to be going out of town for that. So I'll try and keep you guys posted on that. But yeah, this was a great great card, great performance from me. I went 8-3 on picks overall. I picked Patty to win. He didn't get it. I picked O'Malley to win. I picked Waldo to win. I picked Natalia Silva to win. I picked Gene Silva to win. Picked Umar to win. Picked Gautier to win. Picked Bukowskis to win. Didn't get it. Picked Johnson to win. Didn't get it. And I picked Hokett and Ty Miller to win. So 8-3 on the card overall. Pretty good for me. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that card as well. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the card. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to like, comment, and sub for more MMA content. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.